today's topic, that is a format specifier. Yesterday, when I started with the programming part, in the display statement, that is in the printf statement, I used a format specifier that was %d. Now, why we were using that format specifier? I just explained that I need to display my output. But yesterday in basics, we have seen that computer understands only the binary language, that is ones and zeros. But whatever the user is giving it as an input, of course, it will be certain numbers or it will be certain characters. Now, how the compiler will understand that what I am entering, because computer doesn't understand what I am giving as numbers or characters. So for this purpose, the format of the data should be given during my program time. That concept is called as format specifies. Means if I use %d in my program, I am telling the compiler that I want to use integer data type data. Means in my programming, I am going to use int data type. Similarly, if I want to use characters, if I want to use floats, there are certain data types, or sorry, there are certain format specifiers that we have to follow. So %c is for character, %s is for string of characters. String means group of characters. This we are going to see. But for basic programming, we will just need three format specifiers, that is %c, %d for the integers, and %f, that is for float values. %s, of course, we will be using it, but in the advanced part. Right now, I will just explain that string of characters means group of characters. Means if I want to display my own name, it has multiple characters in it. So if I want to use my entire name as a whole in my program, I have to use the concept of strings. So for that, you have to wait till our basic programming gets over, and then we will go for the strings concept. So for time being, you have to use these basic format specifiers, that is %d, %c, %d, and %f. We have already seen %d in yesterday's program. So I hope that that thing is clear, that if we don't use any concept of format specifier, my output will not be displayed. So for that purpose, I have to use the concept of format specifiers. Now, very important thing I will say, when I say that I am running my program at the backend, I must know that what is happening or what exactly the compiler is doing. So for that purpose, consider the program that I am writing is called as the source code. So this is the source code. Also, I can say my problem statement or the task that I want to perform is called as my source code. This source code or this file which I want to run will be first compiled, means it is given to the compiler. What this compiler does is it will convert the source code, means our problem statement, into machine language. This machine language means I can say that I have created my object code. So basically this object code will be having a machine language, that is it will be in forms of ones and zeros. So I have created my object code. I know that my ones and zeros or my binary file or my machine language file is sufficient, but to run that file it is not sufficient. Means even if I have my file with ones and zeros, this is not in ready to run state. Means this file will not be available for me to run it. So for that, what I need is I need two files. First one is the library code and the second one is the startup code. So the startup code, I will say that the startup code is nothing but the interface between my program and the operating system. That is called as startup code. I need certain interface. So whatever this startup code is, that will act as an interface between my program and the operating system. Similarly, library codes are certain library routines that I need for my this file, that is ones and zeros file, to be into my run mode. So I need this library code to make this ones and zeros file into my executable file. Now both these files, means the library code, the startup code, along with my ones and zeros file, that will be linked together. Linked means grouped together, and together it will make a executable file which will be my total ready to run file. So whenever I see my output in that black window, that is the executable code that I am going to run it. So keep in mind that even if I get a ones and zeros file here, it is never in my ready to run state. Always I need certain code, I need the interface which will be grouped together, and then only I can create a executable file. So always keep this diagram in mind, because at the back end what the compiler does, no one knows. Now the concept of functions. We have two types of functions. First one is the formatted, and the second one is unformatted. Out of these functions, already I have used one function, that is printf function we have already used. But at that point we were not knowing there are two types of function, like formatted and unformatted. So what this means is, when I say that I'm using unformatted functions, that is this big list, it means that my compiler can read only one input at a time, not more than one input allowed. So for that purpose, I can use the formatted one. So in the formatted functions, more than one inputs can be allowed at a time. So this is the first main difference between formatted and unformatted regarding the inputs. And the second most important difference is the conversion. In unformatted, again I'll explain about unformatted first. Means when I say that I have certain binary numbers or I have certain binary code, then that code will be transferred directly from my file and memory. There will be no conversion in this unformatted functions. Whereas in formatted functions, my binary code or binary representation will be first converted into ASCII values. ASCII values means whatever I understand or whatever the numbers I understand, that will be converted into certain ASCII values. And these values or this conversion is only done in your formatted functions. Now, what the actual conversion is, if I need to use the numbers from 0 to 9, because I understand only 0 to 9, so if I want to use these numbers, that is 0 to 9, that will be converted into ASCII values, that is 48 to 57. Means 0 is indicated as 48 and goes on. It goes on 1 as 49, 2 as 50, and it goes on till 9 as 57. Similarly, I have explained already that C is a case sensitive language. So if I am using capital A, it is indicated as 65, and capital Z means all. This is a series actually, so it will go till 90. Similarly, small a to small z, if I want to use it, it is from 97 and it is till 122. So this is the conversion. Means as an input, if I give among these values, that is small a, or if I write my name, then internally the compiler is going to convert it into ASCII values, and it is going to consider these ASCII values for its conversion or for its operation. So this part of conversion is done in your formatted part, whereas no conversion is done in your unformatted part. So these are the two main differences between formatted and unformatted. We are going to use all these functions in our programming. I will explain them one by one when we will be using. The next thing is We have used %d format specifier in the printf function, but %d format specifier comes with a optional parameter. What this optional parameter is called as? It is called as width specifier. Means whenever I use this %d, I can include w here, that is width specifier. Now what this w is and why is it optional? This width specifier is basically used for restriction purpose. Means if I want to tell the user that enter only two values, then in my programming itself, I will restrict it to two. How to restrict it to two? That is, in place of this W, I will write 2D here. Means %2D will indicate that the user is going to be restricted at 2 digits. Now this 2 digits means the maximum number that the user can enter will be 99. Similarly, if I write here 3D, it means that the maximum number that the user can enter is 999. Similarly, 4D means 9999 will be the last number that the user can enter. Now, why we need this bit specifier, or is it really necessary? So most of the cases for integer part it is not required, but for your decimal part, most of the programming part you will require this width specifier, where you will be using it to restrict the number of output, or to restrict the number of decimal point or decimal numbers you want to display. Means after point, if you want to display only 4 digits, then you can use this width specifier. You can use some option like 4D, sorry, F it is for float, I will say. So 4F, and it will restrict it to 4 decimal. I will show you in case of decimal, because in my every program you will see this width specifier. But keep in mind, because students think that I have used this width specifier concept only in floats. So only it is allowed in floats only, and only it is allowed after the decimal point only. No, it is not like that. You can use this width specifier in integers also. It is totally allowed. And for case of float, it is maximum used. So I just gave an example of float value, but you can try it for integers also.